Hello and welcome to the Amy
And Kyle.
Adventures Podcast, also known as the AKA Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about all things cycling, marriage and mental health, sometimes a bit of running, although this one over here, AKA the husband, isn't a fan of running, are you, Kyle?
Absolutely not.
Anyway, we'll give you a little update since we last came on. I decided to cycle to Wales at the weekend.
You had the perfect weather for it, didn't you?
I did. It was a really last minute decision. So I was meant to be doing an Audax, which is a long distance bike ride. But then Mum and Dad told me that they were going to Wales for the weekend and I was welcome to join them. And I thought, that is an offer I cannot refuse. They said, you can come in the car with us. I was like, don't be silly. I've got a bike and I've got legs, so I'll cycle there. It's only 300k. So yeah, on Friday I cycled the 300k there, had 2 days there. And then on Monday I cycled 270k home, made a bit of a shorter route. So it was really nice. And it was really nice to reflect because the ride home that I did on Monday is exactly the same ride that I did in August 2021. And it was my first ever long ride. And I managed to do it, was it like an hour and a half faster or two?
No, it was like 2 hours something, 2 hours 14 quicker.
Oh yeah, 2 hours 14 minutes quicker than I was like 3 years, 8 months ago. And when I did it last time, I had a tailwind. This time I had a headwind, and it just, I think it just makes you realise that you don't sometimes realise how much you're progressing.
And you had me supporting you a little bit the first time.
Yes, last time I did it, I think I stopped for like 3 or 4 hours overall, with Kyle giving me snacks along the way, and we had a cafe stop. Whereas this time I stopped for
39 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, 39 minutes. I think I just wanted to get home because although I don't like to admit it, I did miss you, Kyle.
I might have been 49 minutes, but even still, like, no time at all.
Yeah, so.
Oh,
yeah.
You missed me. Oh, that was nice. I missed that. That
You
went
missed
over
that,
my
didn't
head.
you? So yeah, that was my weekend adventure. Kyle, what did you actually do while I was away?
I had a very busy weekend. So you went away Friday. So I was obviously working all day. Then Saturday, I decided to crack on and get loads done with the garage. We've got major progress on that now.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited because the pain cave is becoming alive.
Yeah, the stud walling to divide it all went in. I did that. I concreted the front where the extension is. So the extension is pretty much done, isn't it? I've got the little bit at the side to do.
I wouldn't say it's done, but you know.
What do you mean?
Well, there's still areas for improvement, I'd say. I mean, there's still a skip on the drive full of stuff. There's still wooden planks.
No, I'm on about the actual building.
The building's done, but there's a lot more to do, I think.
Gym-wise there is, not at the front.
I think maybe it's going to be at least another month until it's done.
But the extension bit is done.
Yeah, your building work's done.
My building work's done.
No, you've still got to plaster it.
Yeah, but this is going on to the inside stuff now.
It's still building, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So anyway, I got loads done in there. Looking very good. It's looking quite big actually, isn't it? The gym area. And then Sunday I went out for a ride with Derby Mercury and a specific Nigel.
Oh yeah. Did he have anything funny to say?
He's very much looking forward to a ride we're doing on the Easter weekend. Me, Nigel and a chap called Stevie. So he's looking forward to that. He's been his usual silly self.
Silly?
Yeah, but it's always hard to recall what Nigel
I wouldn't call him silly, I call him more serious, actually.
Yeah, but he knows what he's doing. He's trying to be silly. He's trying to wind you up into it. So yeah, no, that was really enjoyable. Set off a little bit later and played catch up to him, but no, it was really enjoyable, beautiful day. And then I even had a pint with him at the pub.
Ooh, treat yourself.
He did try to get me in trouble with the wife, but...
Yes, he did actually send me a picture of you with a pint while I was in Wales.
Thinking I'd get in trouble.
Something like, oh, Kyle's enjoying himself. I was like, he's trying to wind me up here, but I'm actually quite happy that you're at the pint because, to be honest, Kyle, you're a bit of a recluse sometimes, and I do think you need to go out a bit more. So I was happy
permission.
about that. So I was happy about that. But yeah, so it was nice to ride to Wales. It was a bit... The 300k on my own, actually, I was a bit... The night before I said to you, I don't want to do it, didn't I? I started getting a bit... I don't know why, but I started thinking, what happens if I get hit by a car and what happens if something goes wrong? And I always think that before a long ride, but then I do it. And as soon as I start riding, literally like half an hour into the ride, all those worries go away and I'm like, it's going to be a good day. And I think I wish I could just have that feeling the night before, but I don't always have that. But yeah, I just always have to remind myself. I've done it loads of times before now, so just got to...
It's definitely not your first 300k, so...
No, it's not my first rodeo. Anyway, we'll move on to the tiff of the week, basically the argument that me and Kyle have had this week. Kyle, let's
Well,
rewind.
bearing in mind it's only Wednesday.
Yeah, let's rewind 24 hours.
Yeah. It wasn't really a tiff, was it? It was me being quiet.
Well, no,
And
we had a
you-
bit of an argument because, well, I got home from Wales, as usual, no food in the house. So it was a bit like, you know...
Well, no, but in fairness, I rode out to meet you.
You rode out to meet me, yeah, you did.
And then I said, as soon as you get home, whatever you want, I'll go and get it.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was nice.
You did ride out to meet me because I did make a rookie error of letting both my water bottles go completely empty. I had 60 miles to go. And I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll go through like villages I can fill up. I literally went through nowhere. Every single village I went through, there was no shop. And I was like, literally, I was getting so desperate. I was looking on the side of people's houses while I was cycling past to see if they had an outdoor tap. And at one point, I was like, maybe I should go and knock on someone's door and like see if they'll fill my bottle up for me. But I got too scared.
Yeah.
I was too scared to do it because I thought, what happens if they like abduct me or if they put poison in my bottle? You know what I mean? I was like, oh, then they might want to poison me or they might be some sort of murderer. So I was like, oh no, I'll just keep going. I'd rather die of thirst.
The life of an overthinker.
I'll die of thirst rather than risk that. But yeah, so our tiff was, well, you very kindly cycled out for the last 2 miles or something.
No, 7.
No, it's like 5 miles from the
Well, it
end.
was 7 miles for me in total, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's like three and a half
4
miles. And he filled up my water like a little hero. But got home, no food in the house. First mistake. When I come back from a ride, Kyle, I'm hungry. And when I'm hungry, that's when the hunger happens. So that was the first little... But I didn't say anything. Thought it's fine. We'll walk to the shop.
I didn't even realise that was a tiff.
That wasn't
Until
a tiff,
now.
but the tiff built up to the momentum was building. You know, like when a multitude of things build up and then one little thing triggers you. So that was already, sizzling away inside me. And then yesterday, after work, I decided I'll give the house a clean because another thing I noticed when I got home, cheese on the worktop. Cheese in the plug, in the sink. You know that thing that catches stuff before it goes down the drain? Cheese gratings in there. I thought, okay, this is number 2 trigger. Then I went upstairs. Pile of clothes by your bed.
And
Trigger
I
number
did check
3.
that, and it wasn't a great pile of clothes. It was just my work bits.
And I was cleaning the bedroom, your side drawer. Now, this is an ongoing tiff. So my side of the bedroom, my little side table, we have matching ones, is always empty apart from a book and a little candle. And my drawer is very nice. And sometimes I shove a few things in there, but it's never overflowing. Kyle's side, pile of clothes by the side of his table.
Not a pile. But
Okay, well, at least 10 items. That's a
There
pile.
wasn't.
We'll agree to
I
disagree.
counted them, yeah, when I got home.
Well, you counted them.
Yeah,
How many
there
was there?
4 items.
Okay, well, still, there's enough to dress you with.
Yeah.
Then, on top of your table, a pile. Now, this is a pile of wires
Right.
combined and tangled
I
together.
do have a comeback on that. Because where does our Garmin, your phone,
No, my phone's
your watch...
No, my watch is on the dressing table. Go upstairs and look now if you want. And my phone is by my bed.
Yeah. Well, in the past, the majority of our electrical devices, for some reason, have to be on my side. And sometimes she'll be like, oh, you got the charger. And then she'll just come my side and everything just gets plugged in next to me. So I'm like, well, that's why all the cables are there.
Okay, well, let's forget about the cables then. But just a load of
Yeah, there was stuff.
empty aftershave bottles,
One.
cycling magazines, hair stuff. And then I open your drawer, an array of sweet packets,
One.
gels,
There was a challenge.
just stuff overflowing out the drawer. And I just thought, do you know what, Kyle?
Most of the time it's when I get back from a ride. And be
How
like,
old? You're not a teenager. It's like living. And then I opened my wardrobe. We have those sliding ones. Mine wouldn't even open because your side was stopping my door from opening. So I opened yours and literally, I'm surprised I didn't get suffocated by the amount of clothes that were falling out of there. There's just piles of clothes and they don't even fold them. I don't know why I bother
I've got
ironing.
no coat. I need to get some more coat angry.
So that was our tiff because
Yeah.
basically I rung Kyle when he was on his own. We always ring each other when you're on your way home from work, don't we?
We do.
Because we love each other like that.
Yeah, but this wasn't a very loving phone call.
I rung him and I just said, Kyle, when you get home, you need to sort out your side drawer. And then we just
I
like...
got a barrage of abuse.
No, it wasn't abuse. I just said,
A
Kyle...
barrage of...
I just said, I said,
words.
it's like living with a teenager.
I got a barrage of angry words. And then that was the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't really argue back. In fact, I didn't actually say many words last
But
night.
you've still not sorted it out.
I have. The clothes that was... I
The
haven't sold the
clothes,
drawer
but not
out.
the drawer.
No, that does need sorting.
It just really bugs me.
You're a bug.
You are. So that was our tiff this week. But But we're all right about it now because we've just agreed that you are going to tidy it up, aren't you?
Oh, we've come. The terms are I've just got to do what Amy says, and that's the negotiation.
Well, maybe I could make you a little sticker.
Maybe we need to negotiate.
I could make you a little star thing on the fridge like a kid if you want. So every week that it's tidy, we could actually do this.
I'm sure we can all pick fault.
No, we could make a little... I'm going to make a little chart because tomorrow's my last day at work, so I'll have more time for stuff like this. I can make you a little chart, and every week, if you have a tidy drawer for the whole week, you get a little star. And if you get 10 stars, should we say 10 or 5? Let's do 5 because...
I'm not agreeing to it.
5
so I don't know why
weeks
you're
is
asking
quite
me.
a long time for you. 5 stars in a row at the end, you get something. Like, you know, new jersey, new bib shorts. Maybe not that expensive. That'll be if you really, for a whole year. But, you know, a nice treat.
Oh, thanks, you earn your wages.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
You can have a little treat out your wages
It's
every
like,
now and then.
instead of a kid getting pocket money for doing chores, it's just you getting a treat for doing the basic necessities that you should be doing anyway.
Yeah, I'll just do it. I don't need the sticker chart.
No, I'll get you a sticker chart.
On building sites, people like you get called snagging men or women.
What does that mean?
They go around and pick fault at everything that they don't deem as proper.
Hey.
So, and no one likes a snagging man or a woman.
Well, you chose to
Although
mind me.
you agree sometimes that certain things need to be shaped up or brushed up, but
Do you agree about the drawer?
um,
Are you happy living with that drawer?
there's definitely some improvement that can be made.
Yeah.
And I do go through phases of like completely ransacking it, don't I?
There's even bits of sugar in there.
I'm about to enter that phase.
Okay, you're going to sort it out
Not tonight, but I will do.
before the next podcast.
Yes.
Okay. That's a deal. So that was our tiff of the week, which we just continued on this podcast. Anyway, we'll move on to... Now, this is my failure of the week. Carl already knows about this. So last podcast, I told you about when I fell over because Chester was being attacked by another dog. Chester's here, by the way. He's asleep. And he's been fine since. Like, he's fine walking again now. His cuts have healed. His bites have healed. Although he was a bit... He did run away from a sausage dog today with his tail between his legs. Like a little wimp. Bearing in mind he's about 10 times the size of it. But anyway, so I fell onto my elbow, my right elbow. Got a bit of a bruise when Chester was attacked. All fine. Now, last week, I treated myself very spontaneously to some new plates and bowls from Tesco.
Which I had to carry.
Me and Kyle went down to Tesco to buy some milk, and I came out with a new set of dinnerware. Kyle was like, "What have you bought that for?" I was like, "Oh, I just liked it." It's really unlike me.
No, it's very nice.
I don't like spending. I'm a bit like tight with my money. I like to be very. But it was £49, and you got 4 big bowls, 4 little bowls, and 4 big plates, 4 little plates, and 4 bowls. So I thought that was quite good.
No, it was good value.
And they're very
I was
aesthetically
impressed.
pleasing,
Yeah.
So anyway, I came out with them. Next day, unpacked them all. I had the cardboard boxes. There was loads of cardboard boxes inside the big one, so it was like a little pile of them. Had my slippers on. And you know, like when you stamp down on a cardboard box to like compress them down? I went stamp, stamp, and then on the third stamp, it was like slidey, and my slipper and me just slid. And I went straight down on my side. There was a paint tin on the floor, elbow whack on top of the paint tin, shoulder whack on the cupboard. So now I've got a left elbow as well that was actually bleeding. And it was so like, I was like, oh, I wish there was a camera on the wall because that would have been hilarious to watch back. So I literally just went stamp, stamp, straight down. So that was my failure of the week. Carl, have you got a failure of the week? Have you done anything silly?
I caught my elbow with a handsaw.
You what?
I cut my elbow with a handsaw, which is now pretty much healed, actually.
How did you do that?
I was cutting something in the garage.
What, at home?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I don't know what I did. I think I went to turn it back, just put it down, and I think the blade just caught my elbow, and then it just started bleeding.
Did you get a plaster on?
No.
Oh.
Builders don't put plasters on.
Anyway, should we move on to the moan minute? This is where every week we have a little moan about anything we want to moan about, because it's actually really good, I think, anyway. It's good for you to let your moans out, makes you feel good, it's a bit of a laugh, and we love having a moan as British people.
Yeah.
So
3, 2, 1.
Right, my moan minute this week is the bin men leaving the bin in the middle of your drive. So, in the morning, wheel the bin down the side of the drive so I can get off the drive in the car wherever I'm going. Drive home from work. Oh, the bin's right in the middle of the drive, so I can't actually drive back onto my drive again. It's very inconvenient to have to stop, get out my car, The car could be coming the other way. I have to quickly move the bin, get back in my car, drive back onto the drive. I mean, I know the bin men are busy, they've got a lot of bins to empty, but surely they can just think, if I leave the bin there and their car's not on the drive, they're not going to be able to get back on the drive. It really, really annoys me. Just, leave the bin where you found it. It's not hard. I don't want to be using my legs for extra energy when I'm, cycling. I want to save my legs. So that's my moan. I think I've done it in under a minute today.
Yeah.
How many seconds did I have left?
You actually had 4 seconds left.
Hey, I'm happy with that.
So,
do you agree with that one, Kyle?
oh, there you go.
Do you agree with that one?
I do agree with that. I've just thought a moment. Sorry, I was still in my head trying to think of my moment. But I do agree with that.
Right then, are you ready for yours?
Yeah. My moment is when cyclists are riding down a road and you come to some temporary traffic lights, you wait there because you like to obey the law. Then when you start going, I had this happen to me at the weekend, riding with one of my other friends, and a car proceeds to come right up behind us and then tries to squeeze past us and then proceeds to beep at us as if we were in the way. But then on the flip side of that, if I was to ride straight through a red light at a traffic light, they'd moan at me for doing that. So I feel like sometimes in that situation you cannot win. So I wasn't very happy. So it was a bit of a catch-22. So I think just accept it. It's going to take a little bit of time to get through the traffic lights regardless, unless you want me to break the law. So what do you want me to do?
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes I feel a bit stressed when I'm at a traffic light. By the way, you still had 10 seconds left there.
Yeah, well, that's all it took.
When you're cycling, how the law is that you can actually go to the front of the traffic lights.
Yeah.
I don't do that because I get worried that the cars are going to get angry, so I just stay behind the car I'm behind.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people go to the front, don't they?
I do, yeah.
But then you have to
Well,
still
it depends how long the queue is, I suppose.
if the queue's if I'm 5 cars back from the front, I'll wait because I'm going to get
I'll
through.
do the same, yeah. I won't go to the front if I'm 5 cars back.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how fast the light's going to change and that sort of thing, but
I do feel stressed, when you're at the front of the traffic lights and you're waiting for it to go green, you feel like you're in the start of some blooming race.
I know, I'll go full sprint. But then it just really annoys me because if I was to go through the red light, then I'd get
ran
beeped
over.
at and ran over anyway. No, you know what I mean, though? It's like, I can't win.
Yeah, what do you want us to do? We can't envisage.
Yeah.
I think they want us to stop and let them all through, but then we'll be there all blooming day.
Yeah, well, we just go nowhere.
Sometimes, if I'm at a temporary traffic light and there's just one car behind me or two, I'll wave them through in front of me.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
But if there's a big queue behind me, obviously I've got to go. And I literally go as fast as I can down the thing. There's obviously it's a one-side street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go as fast as I can because I can feel the pressure of all the cars behind me. And then you feel like as soon as you go into that bit where it goes to 2 lanes again, they're all going fast.
I just feel like it's because everyone's so angry. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything massive. It's not going to take you many seconds.
And I think the problem is everyone's in such a rush all the time. Everyone is in such a rush. Not even when you're driving. It's everything. I just feel like life, people are just in such a rush.
I actually
to get
received a
things
fair
done.
bit of abuse on Sunday when I went out. When I was on my own in particular.
Yeah.
Where people just beeping for no reason. I was literally in the gutter on my side of the road. Staying out the way, trying to avoid potholes as you do in this country.
Yeah.
And you just get barraged of abuse on a Sunday. People are just so angry. I'm like, chill out. You can go home, have your Sunday dinner, have a couple of beers, put your feet up.
Well, I mean,
Stop trying to run me over.
To be fair, on my ride to Wales and back, I did have a few arseholes. There was some that went really close to me, but I just stick my middle up and say, swivel on that, mate.
When Amy says arseholes, it means she's angry.
Yeah. Well, it does make me laugh though when they go, not make me laugh, when they go really close past you. It makes me scared, obviously. But then if they go past me close and put the finger up at me or something, I do get some satisfaction from putting my finger back up at them.
Yeah, but I do find sometimes when they come close to you,
Yeah.
it can sometimes be a bit intimidating.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think if you're going to knock me off, you're just going to get yourself in a load of serious trouble. And also, what do you think you're achieving?
But that's the problem though. If they do knock you off, they probably aren't going to stop.
Yeah, but what do you think achieving by doing that? Like what?
I think some people generally don't realise that they've gone too close. 'Cause I think if you're not a cyclist...
Yeah, I believe that 100%.
I think if you're not a cyclist and, they have got... It's not like they've just gone straight past without leaving any gap. They go round a little bit, but they don't leave enough.
No, you get some that purposely do go close to
Yeah, you get some arseholes. But I think some people generally don't realise that when they go that close, how scary it can feel. But then they need educating, but you can't really do that. The only thing you can do is put your hand in the air and they wonder what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think most of the time, if you put your hand in the air, as if to say, give me more space, I don't think they really understand why you've done that. They don't think they understand you telling them to give more space.
Me and Nigel were actually talking about it at the weekend, about how cyclists all seem to just get put in the same bracket.
Yeah.
And you get some people on like these e-bikes for Deliveroo and stuff that go like absolutely going flat out down a street in the middle of town and causing havoc.
Yeah.
And then you get put in the same bracket or a cyclist that's not responsible, that doesn't do the right things or indicate or just go all over the road.
I think there's some, obviously, like it's like a bit of both. Like some cars are really, really good and give you loads of room, and obviously some cyclists are absolute arseholes as well and don't
It's
obey
almost
the law.
the way Nigel put it was, you wouldn't put someone. We're all car drivers. Well, we're not all car drivers, but car drivers. You wouldn't put us all in the same bracket as someone that's just stole a car.
No.
So they're irresponsible. We're a responsible driver, but you won't put them in the same bracket. So not all cyclists are in the same bracket.
Yeah.
As in, like, most of us that are serious about cycling, we're trying to be as safe as we possibly can and try and make it easier for everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, people just seem to have an agenda.
Yeah, it's not very good, really. But I don't know what you can do about it. Like, it's like, even, like you see on Facebook, like, it's really horrible. Like, someone's been hit by a car as a cyclist. Then you get people commenting
Saying,
horrible things.
You've done us a favour.
Oh, yeah, like, oh, cyclists shouldn't be on the road and all this. Like, mate,
I'll pay just as much tax as you do.
I'm just on my bike enjoying myself. What is the big issue? That I'm adding about maximum a minute to your car journey. But that's what I mean. Everyone's in such a rush and they just,
Anyway.
they're obviously not enjoying cycling, enjoying their life as much as us. So just got to feel sorry for them, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on from that because that debate is a big one that we don't want to get involved in right now. Kyle, we'll move on to little mental health section then. Because obviously I used to be a mental health nurse, so I always like to bring a bit of mental health in, and I'm very passionate about, we've all got mental health and it fluctuates at different times. But Kyle, one word, what's your one word this week to describe your current mental state?
Quite a busy mind, actually. Busy has been my mental state this week.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That just means I'm quite focused on what I'm trying to achieve.
What's the busyness going on in there?
Organising things that I want to get done with it in regards to the house. Thinking about things at work. Not so much at work, but you know what I mean? Just little things. And my weekend plans. And trying to fit it all in nicely.
What have you done to calm the busyness? I feel like you're in a therapy session now.
Nothing really. After this podcast, I'm going to have a coffee.
Well, I'm sure that'll help.
This is the first time I've sat down since I've been home, so.
I'm sure that'll help your mind be more calm. Having a bit of caffeine.
No, it's decaf.
Oh, right, that's all right then. Does decaf taste different? Because I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
I don't really think so too much. I've been drinking decaf that long now, I can't really tell. But I feel like it tastes pretty much the same, especially instant coffee. I feel like the proper coffee that I'd use in my machine does taste slightly different.
Right.
So what would your mental state word be? Didn't put that particularly well, but...
Trying to think of a word, actually. I think content.
Oh.
Feeling quite content for once in my life.
Better than yesterday.
Yesterday I was not content. Yesterday I was frazzled about your draw. But today I'm quite content because tomorrow's my last day of work. Real work, proper work.
Well, you keep calling it real work, but you're still going to be carrying on real work.
Yeah, so I'll be like YouTube, cycling,
Still
Instagram,
work.
all that.
Just a dream job.
Just a dream job. But I feel like for the first time this afternoon, we've just been on a dog walk, haven't we? Mm-hmm. And I kind of like realised, whoa, tomorrow is my last day at work. And for the first time, I feel like content about it and I feel like it's the right decision. Whereas all the up to now, I've kind of been like in bed at night, thinking about it, wondering if it's the right decision. And I don't know, I was just on the dog walk, sun was shining and I just felt content. Like, yeah, this is the right decision. Mm-hmm. Everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay. And I've just got to go for it. So feeling content.
You know it's the right decision anyway.
Yeah. I think being in Wales has really helped because I always feel so calm when I'm there and it's so peaceful there. And I think sometimes you just have to escape the busyness of life. Like, I think we're all just like so busy and like we're never actually like having space to just stop and think because we're always reacting to something. Like there's always an email, a text, someone's asking us something. Like we never escape because we're always on our phones like so much. And I think like we kind of miss that little break in between. I feel like everything's just like you get a text, you've got to reply to it straight away. You get an email, you want to reply to it. You've got so much stuff to do and we don't get that little break in between where we just don't react and we just be. Mm-hmm. And I think in Wales I had that chance just to be because there's no phone signal there, so I could completely switch off and it was just really nice. So that's my little mental health tip for this week, I think, is just to try and make that space in between you reacting to something.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you could just go on literally a 10-minute walk without your phone, or if you're too scared, like if you need your phone because you're worried you might have to ring someone or it might be an emergency or whatever, take your phone but turn it off, like notifications off, put it in your pocket and promise yourself not to look at it just for your 10-minute walk, and just focus on what's around you and just have that little space for like just being. I think we all just sometimes don't do that. It's like the angry driver. It's like they're just in such a rush, but why are we in a rush all the time? Would it really matter if you're like a few minutes late to a meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the past when I was struggling and I had counselling, one of the things my therapist told me to do, which really stressed me out, was to purposely be late for a meeting at work, because I used to be so like about being on time. I always used to get there really early for everything, and she made me be late for a meeting just to see what would happen. So I had to be 5 minutes late and I was really stressed, but everyone was fine. I was just like, oh, I'm really sorry I'm late, and nobody said anything. So I think sometimes it's just like realising we can actually slow down. I'm not saying go and be late for everything, but yeah.
No, I don't think that's a good way of looking at meetings at work.
No. But yeah, it's just
realistically nothing bad's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just to prove that we can slow down. And like I always say to myself, because I'm a rushy person and I hate being late. And sometimes I'm like on my bike. Like it was even like the other week I was arranging when we went to meet Becky and my coach. We went on a ride to meet my coach and my friend Becky. And we went the wrong way. It was my fault. For some reason I didn't plan the cafe into the route I thought I had. And we ended up like, we were going to be like 15 minutes late, weren't we? And I was like, oh my God, we're going to be so late. I was like really apologetic to my friend. But while we were riding there, like trying to make up the time, I was literally riding so fast and I was thinking, just need to ride as fast as I can. Like every time I had to stop at a junction, I was thinking, oh God, we're even more late. Then I was like, wait, Amy, like your friend waiting for you and being late is better than risking, getting hit by a car because you're just trying to go as fast as you can. So you have to like stop and put things in perspective and just, basically just slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Carl slowed down completely, stopped talking.
I'm just staring, part of my busy mind now, I'm just staring at my tree in the corner thinking it needs repotting.
Yeah, Carl's tree is dying.
It's not dying. It's got 2 bits of brown bits on its leaves, but it's because the pot's too small. So that is a job that needs to be done.
That's something you wouldn't notice if you didn't sit here and look around.
I always look at it.
Do you?
I always watch my
Has
tree.
it got a name?
It's actually grown quite substantially.
Has your tree got a name?
It hasn't, no.
Can you name it
I'm
now?
not like you, I don't name everything.
Can you name it now? Oh, I've got a name for it.
Go on.
I don't know why it's popped into my head, but I want to call it Wallace.
Yeah, Wallace is quite a good name.
It just looks like a Wallace.
Yeah, it's grown quite a lot though, hasn't it?
It has grown. You're very proud of it, aren't you?
I've looked after it really well, in fairness.
He's a grower and a shower.
I need to repot it though so it can continue growing.
But before we finish, I just want to, in the comments, this podcast is on Spotify and YouTube, so it's wherever you're listening. Today we were on a dog walk with Chester. What would you have done? We walked past a fully wrapped aero bar, like brand new packaging, on the floor. Someone had obviously dropped it out of the bag. Would you pick it up and take it, or would you leave it? That's my question. Kyle, I want to know what you would have done.
You know what I did?
Yeah, what did you do?
Leave it. Yep. So, yeah.
What was your reasoning for that?
I just don't like picking things up off the floor, Amy. Whether it's in a new packet or not.
Because we walked past it twice, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't even eat them because I don't like that. I like dark chocolate, but I can't really eat dairy because it plays havoc with my stomach. But when we walked past it, I was like, oh, Kyle, look. It's a brand new wrapper. Like, you could take that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was really upset that it was just being left there, brand new packet.
Yeah.
I think if I ate it, I might have picked it up. But then I don't think I didn't pick it up, so I didn't. But I wanted you to pick it up.
I know you did. Walked past it twice and both times went, look at it. Just pick it up. No, I don't want it.
Anyway, right, we'll finish with some questions that we got. Let me just get them. Have you been able to solve the saddle sore problem and been able to prevent them? Yes, I have. I've really been trying loads of different bib shorts out. I found some that work for me, and I was using chamois butter before. I didn't realise that chamois butter did an endurance one, and oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Like I put it on for Wales at the beginning of the day, and I've never I was so comfy on the saddle all day. And obviously I've had a bike fit now, and my saddle, I have a Salitalia saddle that works really well for me. I'm sponsored by them. So yeah, it's all sorted now. I think just making sure you use chamois cream, having a bike fit, making sure your saddle height's right and all of that sort of stuff. So luckily I'm okay, but I'm hoping for Tour de France I will be. It's just the heat that could be an issue, because obviously when you're sweating more, that makes it worse. But hopefully,
But the endurance one's meant to be better for that, isn't it?
yeah, the endurance chamois butter should hopefully help with that, and just keep applying it. Because Tour de France training's still fully going. We'll do an update on that next week. And someone said, on a side note, how much food did you start the Mallorca 312 with when we did the lap of the island? And did you take a top tube bag and frame bag to store it all? We took quite a lot of food with us, didn't we? Like we had what did you have, Kyle?
It's hard to remember, but I'm sure I had like 2 bananas, multiple cereal bars, sweets. Sweets always more towards the end of the day, sort of eat that sort of thing. Carb mix in my bottle, 1 bottle and 1 bottle of normal water. Quite a lot of stuff. And obviously all the stuff was in my Telfin top tube bag, which was really handy. First time I'd used it, actually. I was very impressed with it. So
yeah, we had loads.
Quite a lot.
We always have a really big breakfast before a big ride like that, and then we just take. I always try and take enough snacks that's going to last me for the whole day, plus a bit extra.
Yeah.
And just literally shove your back pockets full. Yeah, have a top tube bag. When I cycled to Wales for 300k, I actually had a rear bag on as well, like on a pannier rack, to fit some extra stuff in, because I took like sandwiches and stuff like that, more substantial things. But if we're going to have a cafe stop, I wouldn't take that, because I'd just buy it at the cafe. For the official Mallorca 312 route as well, if you're doing that, there are like food control points on the way that you can top up your food, but definitely just always take more than you think you need, because the worst feeling is like I had on Monday, running out of something, so I ran out of water, and then thinking, oh, I'll stop at the next place, and then you just don't see anywhere. And like 10 miles can just feel like 100 when you're hungry or thirsty, so just always take more than you think you need. And if you've not done many long rides, get your body used to eating on the go.
Yeah.
Like when I did the ride in 2021, I didn't used to be able to eat while I was cycling, because I hadn't figured out how to like ride one-handed and eat.
Yeah.
But now I can do that, and it's so much easier. So just practice that, and your body gets used to it as well, because I don't know about you, Kyle, but when we started and I used to eat on the go, I used to feel so sick. And you still do in the morning, don't you?
Yeah, well, I've just never been a breakfast person anyway, so I just sort of, I grow into it more in the day, a bit like my legs. They tend to grow into the day more.
You have to kind of force yourself to eat breakfast before the ride, don't you?
Yeah, and I always feel sick at the start of a ride.
Yeah, the first hour of the ride, Kyle is like not a nice person to ride with.
Well, it's not so much I'm not nice to ride with, my stomach never settles, because I know that I have to eat a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll have a big breakfast, but I know that I'm going to feel sick.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you'd have your big breakfast like an hour and a half before you start.
It don't make a difference
But
for me, really.
yeah, if you're doing like a really long ride and you're leaving really early in the morning, sometimes it's really hard to do that. So for my breakfast, for example, for my 300k, I had a big bowl of porridge with nut butter, banana, and toast as well. So just get as much in as you can. What's your go-to long ride breakfast, Kyle?
Eggs. I have eggs quite a lot, don't I?
I like eggs.
Like poached eggs on toast. And then I'll sometimes have a bit of cereal. But once again, I'm not a breakfast person in general.
No. But you do love a snack on the ride, don't you?
But I love a snack on a ride, yeah. I'm more of a cafe lunch man.
Yeah, you are.
Love a lunch.
Yeah, you can pack some lunch in. Jesus, you don't. That's the weird thing though, because you don't feel sick after lunch, do you?
Yeah, but some people are like me as well, in the sense of eating early in the morning is just not nice.
Yeah.
Like, there's loads of people. I know loads of people like it.
See, I'm the opposite. I get up in the morning. I can straight down for breakfast. I'm fine.
Yeah, I've never been good for breakfast.
Yeah, I've always loved my brekkie. One of my favourite meals is porridge, to be honest. Every day I have porridge. Oh, it's so good.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, Chester's stretching. He's looking at me like he's ready for his dinner. And Kyle's also giving me the eyes like, Amy, go and make me fish cakes.
And I need my coffee.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you're listening on Spotify, if you can give us a little follow along. If you're listening on YouTube, if you can give us a subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. I'm not used to saying that, but, I felt like I should.
It all helps.
It all helps. So thank you so much. Next week, we'll be back to talk about how our 300k that we're doing together this weekend goes. We're doing an Audax to Skeggy and back.
Third time together.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're going to stay together for this one. No racing off, Kyle?
I didn't race last time.
No, but last time I just remember feeling a bit like, oh, gee whiz, we're going too fast.
What, last 300?
Yeah.
The skeggy one last year?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Is that
Shit.
sarcastic or?
No, genuinely.
Oh, right.
Showed how much attention I was paying.
Yeah, I remember getting to the end and feeling like I was, popping. What do
We had a
you always
monstrous
say?
headwind.
Burning a casket or something.
Yeah, burning a gasket.
What is it?
Popping a gasket.
Yeah.
No,
What is it? Blowing a gasket.
blowing a gasket. So you're even confusing me now.
Yeah. So nice, steady pace. Steady pace, happy wife. That's a new saying.
No, but we should make decent ground on the weekend because we ain't got a headwind on the way back apparently.
Hey, that'd be good. We've got a headwind on the way then. That means.
Very slight.
Okay, you can go in the front and be all right.
No, that's your turn.
Oh.
Right.
All right then. That's our next tiff.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.